Now I would like to introduce a representative of volunteer organization Amigos de Rios, Marian Coensgen. Now, she's been part of cancer research for 30 years at the LA Children's Hospital, but now currently she has 3 roles at Amigos de Rios, including project associate, habitat restoration associate, and of course, volunteer coordinator. She also is an environmental educator at San Gabriel Heritage Association. Now, today, she'll be sharing her various experiences on these topics. Please welcome Marian.
First of all, before I start, I wanted to thank the Irvine Volunteer Association for all of their participation in our organization, which is a green infrastructure organization where we do a lot of tree planting and try to do things that will make our environment a better place for everyone to live in. On my way down, I realized what a sacrifice it is for them to come up to us in the East San Gabriel Valley. Most of our events are over in the East San Gabriel Valley because I had to come down from Pasadena, and the 5 freeway was until you got into Orange County, and then it just opens up. It's like a miracle. But anyway, thank you very much for asking me to come, and also thank you for all of your hard work. We, as an organization, we cannot do the work we do without our volunteers, and so you guys are integral to us, and I just want to thank you a lot. All right, as you were told, I worked in cancer research for 30 years at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. But when I was 55, which is about 4 or 5 years ago now, my son went to college and he started studying wildlife. And I had some experiences with him that made me realize that I wanted to forge a new path. Now, when you're 55, most people are talking about retiring or just, I'm almost to retirement, so I'm just going to eke it out. But I decided that was not what I was going to do, that I was going to embrace the challenge of having a new career that I hope to have for 10 to 15 years. So forging a new path and the obstacles that it provides. All of these photos are photos that I've taken on some of my adventures. So this is a Humboldt lily. A Humboldt lily is an endangered species that is up in the San Gabriel Mountains. So I kind of messed up my slides a little bit because this was where I was supposed to tell you about realizing my new goal. But anyway, I realized my new goal, and now I'm confronting the obstacles that I'm going to face to make this transition of a totally new career in a new direction. Because I've been working in the lab doing molecular biology, cell biology, some chemistry for a very long time. And now I want to go out into the world and look at whether I could help make the world better on a physical, environmental level. And this slide represents all the little everyday obstacles that we actually all encounter in our lives, right? Every day we come across little obstacles. A lot of them we anticipate and expect, and those we don't even think about. We just like jump over them, right? They're easy. But the pine cones represent maybe some of those larger obstacles that we have to take a step back from and think about, how am I actually going to make this work? So when my son went to college, I really wanted him to come out of college without debt. So I decided that I was going to give up my car, because having a car is very expensive. You pay gas, you pay insurance, you have to make the car payment, you have to pay for repairs. And by doing that, I could then afford to pay his tuition. So I had a bicycle, a Metro Pass, and an education to get while I was holding down a full-time job. And that was actually a little bit difficult because I had my full-time job in Hollywood, which is where Children's Hospital Los Angeles is, and the school I needed to go to make that transition to get some education in the field of forestry and wildland resources was in Glendora, which is in the East San Gabriel Valley, and I live in Pasadena. And so it's like this big, huge triangle. So I had to, no car, figure out how I was going to make this work. And I just had to think about it a little bit and check it out, try it out, come up with a plan, negotiate with my boss if I could flex my hours a little bit, and then I did it. And what I did was I would ride my bike from Pasadena to Hollywood every morning. And then I would work, and I'd go to work a little early. And then I would get off of work a little bit early and take the metro, the red line, down to Union Station. And at that time, the Gold Line didn't exist. So I would take Metrolink to Covina, and then I'd ride my bike up to Citrus College and take my courses. And then I would take the bus back to Pasadena at night with my bike on the bus. And luckily, I have a grown daughter who would pick me up at the bus station and give me a ride up the hill to my house. So it was, that's just one of the big obstacles. But when we're doing anything that we want to do, anything that we have a passion for in life, we're going to encounter obstacles that we have to sit back, think and plan, and then go figure out how to get over them or around them. And I kind of felt during this time, during my time of transition, that I was in the same place that a lot of you guys are. Because you guys are in school, and you're in high school, you might be coming to the end of high school, and you're thinking about going to college, and you're going to encounter all sorts of little everyday obstacles, like the ones you encounter at school that you just jump over. And then, like the previous speaker, you might encounter a big obstacle, like having to find a new place to live, which can be really, really difficult. But you just have to work at it and think about it, and then to have some trust and move forward. And I think all of you guys will have, you're young, and you're going to be able to make a success of this. So I actually feel very strongly that obstacles energize us and make us feel happier about what we're doing. That if we don't have the challenge of obstacles in our lives, we would get kind of bored. So anyway, on the journey, because I was studying wildlife, right, I got to see some very, very cool things. And I actually got to see more things on my journey. Well, maybe not more things, different things that I'd never seen before. So one of my courses took me to Death Valley, and I got to see this little, really healthy-looking Death Valley coyotes, much smaller than the coyotes we have here, and sidewinder rattlesnake, which I'd never seen before, and then some native bees and things. But I mean, that's just like a tiny sampling of what I got to see. The arrival, have I arrived? Have we ever arrived in our life? I don't think so. And we're always changing directions and modifying where we want to go and revamping our priorities. And I just want to encourage you guys to really embrace that part of life, embrace the obstacles, embrace the changes you want to make, because you can do it, and it makes life more exciting. I haven't gotten where I want to go. I actually want to eventually work for a public lands agency and work on actually doing restoration in a more pristine environment. Though I love what I do here. I love what I do in the urban parts of LA County. This is Wix Wren, and when I was up at the Education Center, he kind of flew into a window and beamed himself, and so he was being very quiet, and I got to get this really great photograph of him. So you have to take the opportunities where they come, and he eventually recovered and just flew away, and he was fine. But it was really fun to see him. Around here at the parks, the wonders that I get to see here, this is a little green fluorescent native bee. We have over 6,000 different species of native bees in California. You guys probably think of a bee and you think of the European honeybee that makes honey. But there are 6,000 other bees that help pollinate our crops and our native plants. So that's kind of a cool picture. This is just, I was teaching a class on the Native Americans, and we had some beads, but this is just a little caterpillar that we saw on the basket, and that caterpillar becomes a moth that lives on the oak trees, like the oak trees some of you guys helped us plant today. So that's a cool picture. This is Carrizo Plains. It's just up the coast. It's during the super bloom, and you can just see that there are fields and fields of different colored wildflowers. I just picked this as an example, but there's also fields of purple wildflowers up there that are just stunning. Back again local, this is Peck Park. Some of you guys have probably been to Peck Park and volunteered there. When you open your eyes to what's out there, you can see stunning things and maybe areas that you think are a little blighted. So this was last winter, and on a really, really gorgeous day at Peck Park. And this is at another one of the parks that I get to work at, and it was just at sunset time. It was after we had done some work. I don't know why we were working quite so late in the evening, but we got to see this spectacular sunset from one of the parks that we work with quite regularly at Madrid Middle School Park. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak with you. And also, again, I just want to encourage you to embrace your obstacles and your life, because it's got 1,000 opportunities, maybe even 1,000,000 opportunities out there waiting for you to step into them and explore the possibilities.